It numbs you, a nightmare, a horrible disease. These are just a few of the ways people have described mental illness in their lives, whether it's you, your child, or a friend. Mental illness impacts all of us in the same ways, and that's why the Mind Space podcast is committed to uncovering mental illness and the impact it has.
Welcome to the Mind Space podcast, and my name is Fahad bin Mohammed. With me here I have a close friend, Lucky, and we're going to have a conversation about mental health, briefly. So,
Unlike Fahad.
yeah, Lucky, introduce yourself.
What's up?
What's up? Introduce yourself to the people.
My name is Lucky Ruben, and I'm photographer, videographer. I just wrapped up my degree like 3 weeks back at Uganda Christian University, and I'm glad to be here, man.
I'm glad to have you. You're the people from Buguju.
Hey, Buguju.
Buguju.
Hey, but Fahad, I didn't even know you. You're a man of many things. I met you in Mukono.
You met me in Mukono. I don't think I was in Mukono. But
You're
once
quiet.
upon a time, I used to be in Mukono. Yes, once upon a time, but gone other days.
It's a pleasure to be here, man.
It's a pleasure to have you as well. So basically, the whole concept of this show is to talk about mental health challenges that ordinary people go through, but we rarely actually bring to the surface.
Yeah.
We want to create enough noise out there about the topic. We want the content to rival music. So we want to create enough society change and awareness so that we can actually bring some attention to this. I mean, yes, there's individual recovery. We all go through certain things, but I believe if we do it as a society, then I believe we can impact a lot of change. True. So you have a very wonderful story. I know just bits of it, but like I really related with it. And I think as we go through it, we'll be sharing how you coped with your mental health despite what you went through in these brief years you have been on this world. Yeah, so should I go first or you go first?
You go first.
I go first.
You go first.
So I, for one, am an addict in recovery.
Okay.
So I understand what it means to have not the best of lives, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're here, we're talking about it, we're trying to live our best lives. I mean, True. So for those of you that don't know, you do not know, Lucky is he has quite an interesting story actually. Let me just say he's also a sickle cell carrier, but that's just one of a few things he's going to tell us about. So, Lucky, how old are you?
I just turned 23.
23 years old.
Yeah.
So you were born in 97?
No, I turned 24.
You turned 24?
97, yeah, 97.
97?
Yeah, 24.
Yeah, so would you kindly tell us about your struggles growing up? When were you born? How were you born? And what generally characterized your childhood?
Basically, my mom had me in 97, and before that she thought she was going to have a daughter like the whole time. So she did shopping for a girl, and if you'd see my pictures when I was a kid, all the pictures that I have, it's a girl. Even I look like a girl. I got that a lot from, very many people.
Yeah.
So when I came quite early than most people.
Yeah. How early? What do you mean you came forward early?
Half-baked.
Half-baked?
Yes.
Half-baked, like premature? Or you're not born, you are premature?
Something like that.
At how, which month?
Half-baked.
Halfway? Halfway?
Almost halfway.
So you're 6 months?
Yes.
So you were born at 6 months?
Yes.
Okay, that's quite interesting.
Yes, and back then, now people take medicine. If you have maybe sickle cell or something, there's medicines you take while you're pregnant, but this is like back then. So my parents didn't know that.
Yeah.
And even when I was born, when I went through I was able to get out of hospital and everything, I still was very sickly, and I didn't know why.
Yeah.
Like always in and out of hospital, in and out of hospital, in and out, and no one knew anything. I was on drugs for stuff I was not even sick of, They told me I had asthma, but I didn't even have asthma. I had inhalers, I had what? I was always taking something.
So you were always in and out of hospital when you were growing up?
When I was growing up.
That was for how long? How many years do you remember that?
From P2 to the whole of primary. I was in and out of hospital. The whole of primary, I was in and out of hospital from P2, P3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us furthermore, when you were in school, did it affect you? Did it have any challenges it brought into your life?
Yeah, because I couldn't do as much as the other guys could do, first of all. I loved soccer so much, so much. I thought I'd be some superstar.
Messi, Ronaldo,
Messi, what?
Ronaldinho.
Yeah, but every time I would play with these guys, the first time,
Yeah.
I think it was P3, I was with my friend and I fell and broke my hand. But you see, my hand didn't break like my bone out or anything. Yeah, but I saw my hand, my fingers were here. It just bent all the way here.
For the in P3?
Yeah. My hand bent all the way here. When I saw that, I just blacked out.
You just blacked out?
Yeah. Next thing I remember, I woke up in the sick bay and my dad was there.
That was one of your first.
That's my
when
first.
You first felt
when
the weight of your condition.
Yeah.
Did you always feel you were not normal?
Yeah, I was a bit weak, skinny guy. I've not changed much.
You're in great shape though. You're in great shape.
Yeah.
But so you always felt you were not like the other kids.
Yeah.
So you break your hand
Something like that.
when you're playing football in P3.
Yeah, this didn't happen once. It happened twice, thrice, 4 times, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 7. I broke my hand 7 times.
You broke your hands
7 times.
7
Both
times.
hands, yeah.
Both hands 7 times.
Yeah.
Did you break anything else?
My leg.
You broke your leg.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
So you. This was in how many years? What space period are we talking? From P3 when you first broke your hand?
From P3 all the way to P7.
To P7.
Yeah.
You broke 7 bones.
Yeah.
Okay. So a year for every bone practically.
Something like that.
How did that make you feel? Because I don't think that's a very.
If you to ask any of
live.
my friends from primary, or even if you go back to like my teachers there, they all knew me just for one thing, for being sick always.
So you were sickly.
Yeah.
And you also breaking.
Yeah,
your bones.
also like always in some funny stuff. I was never in class. My grades were bad. I would take a month and report. You know, I remember there was in my P6 I still had a broken hand, so I would go to school. I can't write. It was my left hand. So I would just go to school, then be there in class, get guys' books, go home. My sisters note for me the notes and do my books.
How did
and
that
then I
make
take
you
back
feel?
the books. It was just I got so much attention from my parents.
You liked it?
Out of all my siblings, it was I didn't like it, but for my siblings, they felt bad. I think.
Oh, because
I took all their attention.
How many children?
We were 4, so 3.
You
I have 3 siblings.
Above you or below you?
1 above, 2 below.
But you were the main child.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you had to be. You get.
Yeah.
But how did that make you feel, you as an individual? Because I know now your siblings were not happy with the situation.
Yeah.
But how did it make you feel? I mean, you're always in and out of hospital. You're sick.
I didn't
first
like
of all.
it, man.
You didn't like it, eh? And I don't think anyone can like that.
No one can like being. Up to now, I hate hospitals.
Because I remember my childhood was something entirely different. I mean, I was crazy, but I didn't break anything serious.
But you were just crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I was low-key crazy. But we're moving.
You look like a guy who was crazy.
No. A bit. We're all crazy to some extent.
Of course.
I mean, I just enjoyed it once in a while. You know, when you sit back and you're like, let me just be crazy for
chill.
today. Yeah, so once in a while I would get loose. But I mean, now looking back, my own childhood, that is, I couldn't have imagined breaking any part of my body. Because I mean, even when I went on to play professional sports, I broke the fingers, the toes. I mean, it's very light things. But I mean, if I ever broke my leg, because I would retire. But you
love the sport.
I love the sport, but I mean, for you, it's an excess of love. Was it? Were you breaking your bones because you were enjoying the sport, or you would fall? Or
I would just fall randomly, like any small thing. Got to a point where the doctor told me, next time, like you break your hand, we're going to have to cut it off.
So you were on the verge of amputation.
For me to be for me to be careful with my movement, not running around. What? You know.
So the first time was
cut
football.
off your hand.
The first time was football.
Yeah.
The second time?
I was just walking and I got into a fight with some guy and then he pushed me and then I fell on my hand.
And that was it?
Yeah, and then the third time I was riding a bicycle, I fell down. I think then another time I already had the plaster on, but then I fell.
So basically whenever you fell...
Yeah, they were weak, I couldn't.
They were weak
Up
bones.
until now I can't My hands are not the strongest hands.
They're not the strongest they can be. Eh?
Yeah.
But I mean, you look strong, you look energetic.
Thank you.
So, I mean, P7 you had 7 times. Okay, that is something.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you studied, how you coped.
It was hard. I went through it.
But you went through it. Do you remember any coping mechanism?
I think for me, it's very supportive mother.
Yeah.
Very, very supportive. And dad as well, because my dad would be called in the middle of Rakai, I don't know, Kitgum, where he would drive back if he had I was sick. So those guys really stood.
They were always there. I mean, you were their miracle baby. That's why you're called lucky. Yeah, which is quite inspiring. So for those 7 years, you had the attention. Did you like? I know you liked. You didn't like.
Not really. I
You
didn't
didn't really like it.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best form of
Yeah.
attention.
I
Anyway.
did my PLE. My mother was there the whole time.
In the paper,
Outside the room.
outside the room.
Yeah.
But you sat at school.
Yeah, I sat at school, but with my mom, and I had I had my own extra.
You extra stuff.
Yeah.
Must have been something to go through at such an age.
No, it was not good.
It wasn't good. Yeah.
I just wanted to leave the school even.
Okay, so moving forward,
Yeah.
you really got tired. I actually understand. I am trying to understand how you could have been feeling at that point.
Yeah.
So let's say you move forward, fast forward into secondary.
But no, you've skipped something. In my P3, I came to school in the morning and I didn't do my homework. So in the morning, the guy comes, my teacher, and then he's collecting the work and whatnot. And then he pulls me like I didn't have the homework. So he puts me down and then he canes me. And he wasn't caning me on my back or anything. He was just caning me everywhere. So when I left, after school, I go home. Day 1, I can't pee. Day 2, I can't pee. Day 3, I'm peeing blood. You get so.
Was that internal bleeding?
No, he had beaten me here.
The kidneys?
No, my bladder.
The blood?
Yeah.
So you failed to pee for 3 days?
For 3 days.
And you didn't tell anyone?
No, then I complained. I told my mom.
After the 3rd day?
Yeah. Like I can't go to school. This is happening.
But this is you in P3. You were beaten to a point where you could not urinate?
Yes.
That's inhumane. Did the teacher know of your condition?
Yeah, man. My parents are so forgiving.
They're so
I
forgiving.
think that's where I get it from. Yeah.
You're so forgiving? It's a nice trait to have.
Yeah, so I went through a lot. That was like the most painful
Experience.
stuff. I don't wish that on anyone, man.
I know, of all the things I would have actually imagined,
It was so painful.
for a childhood, that is not one of the best.
It was so painful, man.
So you went to hospital and what did they say?
I went to imaging center. They did an X-ray. A painful procedure still. You think of X-ray, you're like, the normal thing. But then with the blood and what, they have to, I don't know, they have to flush water through that place that you piss out from. Flush it.
Like an enema, but of the front.
Yeah. And flush in water so they can see your bladder properly and all the veins in there, and then flush it out again.
And this is P3.
Yeah, that's just a test. That's
But
an
like
X-ray.
you were born premature. You have weak bones. Someone has beaten you to this point. Now the treatment involves an enema in your.
So like after that, they sent us to Mulago, and the guy did a procedure. It's almost like the same test, but it's some other stuff, man.
It's different.
It's different.
It's pain.
Very painful, and you're not injected or what, because they tell you it's just what? It's just passing through something. Do you get what I mean? So it was very crazy. I would pee with pain for like 3 weeks after that procedure, in pain.
You really had a rough childhood, though. It was really rough. I mean, when you think you have seen it all, I mean, stories like yours that come out actually
crazy.
show us that. I mean, you're a very strong individual. To see you standing here right now, I feel I'm in the power, the presence of the Lord. You know, the Lord sends people to you to show you that, I work.
Things are crazy.
Things are crazy. I mean, this is just P3, but you've had to endure all that.
Yeah.
I can't even understand. How were you coping minus the support of your parents? Was there any other special treatment you were getting?
It was just home. Family, that's it, family. I didn't really have that many friends back then. It was just family, staying home, what. And then I studied photography, so that also kind of...
You studied photography when you were young?
Yeah, when I was young, yeah.
How young?
Like Form 1.
You studied after leaving?
After school.
The school you dreaded?
Yes.
So I think, I think that's why you're so passionate about it. Yeah. Which makes a lot of sense. So fast forward into your secondary life.
Secondary life, I couldn't do boarding. I tried boarding for 1 term and life was hard. So I got back home, commuted all the way to my Form 6. All the way to
your Form 6?
Yeah, but I did the school.
How was your physical state, your body?
My secondary life was okay. Yes. As much grown now, I knew that, man, if I overdo this, if I throw my hands around, I'm going to...
You had learned some lessons.
I had learned, yeah. So I knew I not get into fights. Yeah. Just being humble, just being a normal guy. So that was it. My whole high school, O-level was okay. Very okay. Yeah. A-level was also quite okay.
Why quite? Why the quite?
Crazy, but quite
crazy.
Yeah.
The adolescence,
yeah.
The speed now, I think it was catching up.
Yeah.
Those are crazy times.
Very crazy time.
Those are rowdy ages. Like even Form 2, I think for your O-level things were a bit...
Very rowdy.
Yeah.
It was very rowdy for me because I went to a school where it was very chilled. Like not like from where I was in my O-level.
Yeah.
O-level is very strict. Like traditional schools, very strict. When I went
to
my A-level
school.
Then in my A-level I went to a much more relaxed school. Yeah. Like
the liberal
no caning, no what, do what you do, go man. Yeah.
So what happened when you got this new
fun? So I'd never done anything, any drug or anything in my life. No smoke, no what, nothing. So for me, when I went to that school, they introduced us to pills. You get?
The benzodiazepines of those days, the cosmoses, the what?
So man, guys would try this stuff, Me, I didn't want to try this stuff. So one time, we go for a trip to Ginger. And one of my friends puts a whole strip in my Coca-Cola bottle.
A whole strip?
Yes.
12 benzos?
Yes. So I took that stuff. When we reached Ginger, I couldn't walk.
Obviously,
I couldn't walk.
You were not supposed to be able to walk.
So these friends of mine helped me out to the bus. We tour, but I am on some other stuff. So after that, let me fast forward. We get back from the trip, go to school. I get my bag. I leave the school. That's the last memory I have.
Of leaving the school?
Yes.
That day?
Yeah.
I mean, this was the first time you had ever used an intoxicant. And it wasn't just an intoxicant. It was a benzodiazepine. And an overdose of a benzodiazepine. So your whole life,
that's the first time I tried anything. And not voluntarily.
I mean, this world,
It was crazy. I woke up in Mukono, in a police cell.
In Mukono? Which school were you from?
Lohana, in town.
You came from Lohana to...
Mukono. And I woke up in a police cell in Mukono. It's school uniform.
The insanity. It had...
I didn't even know what I was doing there.
You couldn't have known. You blacked out. You blacked out and just...
I thought I killed someone.
You just started operating. But you were locked up?
Yeah, I was locked up. But I didn't know why. So I kept asking, why am I locked up?
So how did you get out of that whole situation?
So in the morning, around midday, I get my brains back. And I actually know that something went wrong. And I didn't do anything wrong.
Yes, because the side
So I got my stuff together. And then I called my mom. Told her, I'm here. They'd actually been looking for me.
Yeah.
So she comes and I'm confused. She's not understanding what I'm saying.
You are slurry,
I am not okay,
slow.
I'm not fine. I'm hallucinating, what?
Yeah.
So quickly, they take me to hospital, Nakasero, and they test my blood, all the samples, and they find a high level of that stuff. Yeah. So I get onto like some detox, then some like as if rehab.
So
but not rehab, but like talking. Therapy. Yes, yeah. Proper therapy.
It took a toll on you. The height took a toll on you.
For like two weeks I was there, and then I was done with it. And
so your first experience with using drugs needed you to go into immediate detox. So I mean, me, the period I used for, I mean, it took me a very long time to go for detox. But for your first hit, with your background, I mean, the world keeps on shocking us. This is really, really...
Exactly.
It's something, I think it's a bit too much to process, because I know I means already to be high.
Yeah.
But now, with your weak community and your history, it must have been... It must have not been a very good experience for you.
I battled anxiety for like a whole year after that. And
for a full year?
Yeah.
Do you still battle with anxiety?
Yeah, but not as bad as I did in that year. Because that year it was very bad.
Yeah.
Very, very bad. No sleep, no eating, no friends. You don't want to talk to anyone.
Yeah. And I relate with anxiety because there are moments when I actually experience it.
Yeah, and some nights I had to get on meds to sleep. Yeah.
That was rough, though.
Very bad.
So did you continue using substances?
No. That was 2017, so I was
like,
done.
No,
done.
I'm out of it.
Yeah. It was clean.
First and last year, and it wasn't even voluntary. I think it was the world trying to teach you that.
But then the anxiety haunted me all the way to university, my first year.
Yeah.
That's how many years? 2017,
to
18, 19. Yeah.
So it came back.
Yeah.
Oh, it was actually with you the whole
time. It was there, but it became worse.
In your first year?
Yeah, in my first year.
This is your first year at university. What were you experiencing at this time?
First of all, I was in Mukono. I don't know anyone. None of my friends went to that school.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone. It's a university with 1,000 people.
But you didn't know anyone?
Yes. That's crazy.
Beyond neutral ground, plus your anxiety, the fear.
Yeah, I had so much anxiety. For
the
like
uncertainty, yeah. So did it affect your social life?
Yeah, it did. I was very, very, very low key in my first year.
Yeah.
My second year as well. Then I opened up a bit more in my third year.
In your third year?
Yeah.
But was your stay in Mukono productive?
It was productive. I was never in Mukono, but
like
a lot, I would just have classes. The weekends I'm in Kampala.
Yeah.
School, Kampala. So I never really stayed in Mukono to chill in my first 2 years there.
But your third year
my third year I was there.
Did you indulge in any of their practices? No, which is good. Yeah. I think you learned your lesson really early on. So I had you tell me, no, actually, there's a point where you told me you're a sickle cell carrier.
Yeah.
Prior to this, when do you get this information?
So later on, I kept doing blood tests because I was always sick, man. Yeah. I didn't know why. Knees, what? So we kept doing tests. And like, one doctor one of the doctors somewhere said, why don't you do the sickle cell test? So when they did the sickle cell test on me and my mom, she didn't have it, but I had it. So obviously my dad has it. Yeah. Then all the family did it, and my big brother has it, and then my sisters are okay.
So which year was this?
I think this was like P6. So I don't know which year was that.
P6. But when you're still breaking your bones?
Yeah.
So you were born premature. You were born with weak immunity, weak bones. You are a sickle cell carrier. You suffer from anxiety.
It's also something that you see people mistake you having mental issues with drugs, but that's the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You can have mental issues without testing anything in your life. You've never tested
because of experience,
not even alcohol, nothing. But you can get it.
So
at first, I remember this one time. I would go out, but I would not do anything. I go out like with my brother or something, but I don't drink or anything. So some funny things would happen, and then he would say, man, your anxiety, man, your anxiety. And he's telling I'm there with his friends. So he's making me look like a weirdo. You get what I mean?
Yeah, he knows. He's supposed to.
You get, yeah. So I remember ranting to my therapist about it, and she was like, even a person, she's down to even a person who doesn't do anything can get it. Can be anxious. We all get anxious at the end of the day. If you're going to do something, risk, you're going to paper, you're going to feel that tension. That's still anxiety, but like the level differs. Some guys have
things.
Their hormones go way up, and then some guys it's like no more, and then come back down. Now some guys it goes up and stays there, so you feel anxious for a minute
period of time.
even a month, you can be anxious every day.
Yeah, I actually relate with the speed, but I can't imagine living with it over for a long period of time.
It's very, very crazy.
But I know in the moment you can actually, there's a lot of self-harm going on.
Yeah.
It can be mental, physical, but it
can be mental. The mental is the craziest.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So when were you diagnosed with anxiety again? This was your HSC?
No, like proper.
This was after you...
This is university, my
proper.
year. Like to really find out that I had it, but I didn't know.
After they gave you the
I didn't know what was wrong with me. No, even before.
When did you start going for therapy?
Proper was uni. Okay, I had like no more, someone talking to you, but like proper, where I have to go, I have notes, you
have to check in.
Everything, that's like uni. Yeah. And that's when I really, really had to find out what really made me to be like this. And I remember my doctor saying it's because of the trauma that I went through, that I have this fear that anything, like I had this fear, like I can't do this at this time because I know it's wrong. I don't want to, I don't want to do this because it's,
the trauma led to the anxiety.
Yes. So I'm scared always for my life. Yeah.
I mean, that's a very heavy statement to make. Because
that's the thing about anxiety. You're scared always, 24/7. It's like someone has a gun to your head.
So
24/7.
How do you cope? Because
film and videography, photography is therapy for me. Editing is therapy for me.
Photography is therapy for me. Such a beautiful phrase. Yeah. How did you cope? How can you narrate your coping experience from back then? Like, what do you attribute? Where did you drive your strength to come from all that to what you are now? Like, I remember you saying you had very supportive and loving parents.
Yeah.
What else do you think you can attribute to your being here?
I think it's also my sharpness. I'm street smart. I remember just wanting to learn stuff, go on the internet, learn coding, I just love to learn. So for me, I was always in my box learning something new, trying to learn what can I do here, what can I do this.
So it was a coping mechanism.
Yeah, for me. Yeah. So working, I don't like sitting there doing nothing. Yeah. Because the thoughts then kick in. Yeah. You see, so for me, it's keeping my head busy, doing something.
To be productive.
Productive. Yeah. That's my best therapy. Just being productive. Slowly, the thoughts even go away.
Now that you have something to live for, you actually don't have to worry about everything else.
Yeah, you don't have to worry.
Anything else you attribute?
Mostly parents. Why? Because I remember I would be anxious about my grades.
Yeah.
Very worried about my grades. But my dad told me, you don't have to, I don't want the best from you. I don't want you to give me 100%. You do what you can do best. You feel like I have done my best, that's it. If it fails and you failed, hit it again. But don't worry yourself. That's why I said parents. They play the biggest role.
The biggest role.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so humbling to hear of such experiences in life. Because there's so many people out there who have lost hope in their parents, or their parents have lost hope in them. But to find examples that through all the trauma and all the bad things that can happen in an individual's life, I mean, these moments actually do bring people together.
Yeah.
It's good to see that it's not in the best of circumstances, but humility comes out in these moments.
Very.
As it should be.
Life has taught me how to be humble.
How to be humble.
I think you always have to be humble with everything that you do.
I'm learning to be humble. I learned the hard way, but now I'm adjusting and integrating into society properly. Yes. Yeah, but I mean, it's very nice to hear of supportive parents, especially in the world we live in.
Yeah, it's quite important because I mean, parents, you tell them the guy has therapy. I mean, he has anxiety, needs therapy, 100 Gs per session. Which parent is going to do that?
Mine did.
Okay, no. How many parents?
No, but I understand because I understand what you're talking about.
You know?
Because they are not aware.
Yeah.
They're just not aware that.
Not that many parents are going to do that. People are out there suffering.
A lot.
No one knows even like what's wrong with me, man. I can't eat. Why can't I eat? Why? Me, I didn't know till I go to uni. I saw some of my friends would go to a restaurant. We sit. We're eating. Yeah. The girl is eating, but she wants to throw up. She wants to throw up. But that's an anxiety symptom. Yeah. You can't eat, you will just throw up. because you're scared. When you're scared, can you eat food? When someone has a gun on your head, can you eat food? You can't.
It's too much.
So
You're
that's how
in your
you
head
feel.
so much, yeah.
Yeah. So me, I related with them because I knew.
Yeah.
But someone else is gonna be like, "Oh, this guy is crazy."
Yeah, but they don't really know what.
They don't know what it feels like. They can't know until you feel it.
But it's a blessing that. Good for them. They don't have to feel it. I mean, they have other things. They
I
have other
never
things
wish
to
it on
worry about.
anyone.
Yeah, they have other things to worry about.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's such a message, such a strong message. I mean, the resilience. Because I know you're quite a spiritual person.
Yeah, man.
You're a very spiritual person. Because once we
From a very
speak
spiritual background.
Yeah, spiritual background. Did it have a role to play in this? In your recovery
to some extent, I think.
Yeah.
Prayers. I remember my mom taking me for some overnights.
Were you as an individual really prayerful?
Yeah, I was.
In and out of hospital?
Yeah, I was prayerful.
So you've always lived this?
I've always gone to church. I've always been like, always, every day.
It's routine.
It's
You don't even debate.
It's routine.
God comes first, as it should be. So what advice would you give to people out there that are struggling with things? I mean, as we all are struggling with things, I mean, you're a clear testament that even with half the chance, I mean, you are given half a chance at life, and this is what you've decided to make out of it. I mean, it's a really telling story. What people that are struggling out there with anxiety, people think they've been through the worst and all those things, what do you have to tell them to keep on moving?
I think for me, it's just okay, not giving up. That's cliche, but like not giving up.
In the real essence of
I know. I also gave up to some extent, but I'm urging them not to give up, man. Just keep pushing and just like be you, man. Don't worry about what other guys are gonna say.
Yeah.
You know, because I remember like I repeated a class and man, guys were like, man, what? But I was like, man, what the hell? It's my life, man. Yeah. It's me. I'll make new friends. Yeah. Don't get so attached to these guys. You're like, oh, nah, man, you're gonna make other. You know, if I didn't repeat that class, I wouldn't be here.
Amen to that.
I would not be here. I would not be simply lucky.
Simply
I
lucky.
wouldn't be. If I didn't go to this school, even though I went through that, I still wouldn't be who I am now. So
everything
don't look at it like
everything
happens for a reason.
And I mean, the Lord gives the toughest challenges to the best of His people.
Yeah.
So you are a clear testament that the Lord really works, despite everything. Yeah. True. So you're very strong, Lucky, and I really hope your story we can create as much as awareness about this topic.
I think that's quite important.
Yeah, because very many people are actually struggling out there with very many things that people just see at face value. But I mean, with stories such as yours and other people out there, I believe we can create a community where we're actually talking about these things openly as a society.
And I feel like the biggest people that face this, even some that won't allow it, are creatives.
Yeah.
Photographers, videographers, graphics guys, coding guys. There's a guy who ran mad. I don't know. He was a coder.
He ran mad or he became schizophrenic?
No, he ran mad.
You understand that?
Guys get lost in their box.
Yeah.
Take a break. And if you're editing or you're shooting or you're something, don't be under anything. Try to do it with a clean
sober.
head. Yeah.
We try to.
I mean, you can go do your stuff later, but when you're doing your thing, try to be sober.
Like the artists.
Yeah, the artists.
Abayimbi.
Creatives.
The people working the bars. Hey, you went very years of creatives. Bona abayimbi.
Videographers.
Albert, ate social media influencer. Asiaba whatever. Ata omwenge.
Tewali
kubanga okay.
Tewali creative.
Tewali creative. Ate kati oyogedde ku kintu. Oh my God. I think it's where the conversation. We can't mix alcohol in these conversations. We're talking sense.
Try to keep a clear mind.
Yeah, sobriety is key.
Very.
For as long as you can. I mean, from the side of addiction, we keep on.
And also, like, if you feel like you can't do this thing, just leave it. Yeah. You see, like, there's editing, but you will sit and edit for 12 hours. There are days you sit and edit a whole documentary for 12 hours. Yeah. And the guy wants it the next day. So you're not sleeping, you're not what? Not everyone can do that. Some guys' brains can't handle that pressure. So
but you advise them they don't need to use anything to supplement their natural talents.
Because if you feel like you need to use something to do something, then it's not your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's really, you're really passionate about it,
you'll do it.
You'll do it.
You'll do it.
I mean, there's so much sense around me sometimes. People speak so much sense that I know you're in the right place. Yeah, so thank you so much for this wisdom, Lucky. Yeah. I hope all viewers out there, you really enjoyed this session. We are going to hold Lucky back, for sure. Me, you trust me. And thank you very much, Lucky, for having us.
Thank you for having me, man.
As well.
Yeah.
Please subscribe, follow, all those things people do. Like, comment.
Smash the button.
Smash the button is what they say. I'm new to these things, but
It numbs you, a nightmare, a horrible disease. These are just a few of the ways people have described mental illness in their lives, whether it's you, your child, or a friend. Mental illness impacts all of us in the same ways, and that's why the Mind Space podcast is committed to uncovering mental illness and the impact it has.